Hey everybody, something that you probably don't know about me is that besides being an internet marketer and a blogger, I'm also a personal trainer. And before I became a personal trainer, I was just somebody who would go work out at the gym like everybody else. And in fact, I had gone to the bookstore and I bought myself a book. It's called The Body Sculpting Bible for Women. And I had taken that book with me to the gym for a year and I followed the program in it. I was seeing the results, but I just got to a point where I plateaued and, I wanted to go to the next level. So I decided to reach out to somebody for some help. And of course, I was always watching the trainers at the gym and seeing what they were doing. And there was one trainer in particular that I had seen. Her name's Sandy Scammon, and she looked fantastic. And so I wanted to know what she was doing. And so I approached her and we got to chatting, and she kind of told me, her story, and that she had just done her first figure competition and she placed in the show. I believe she got first place. In fact, I mean, she looked fantastic. She's a knockout. So, anyway, after we talked, I decided, hey, you know what, this sounds like something that I'd like to do as well. So, let's start training. And so we trained really hard for 5 months, and let me tell you, ignorance was bliss. I had no idea what I was getting into really when I, started on this journey, but, what a blast. So we, trained hard for 5 months, and I got in the best shape of my life. I competed in the figure competition, and I had achieved that goal. I felt awesome afterwards, and I thought to myself, God, if I could share this with people, if I could let people know that by going to the gym and exercising that, they could feel like this, that they could have more confidence, and that, this would seep into every part of their lives. If I could share that, nobody could deny me. They would have to do this, and so that's kind of how I became a personal trainer. Well, that gets me thinking about self-esteem and just the importance of self-esteem. And for me, the exercise, that's like a drug to me. It's my antidepressant. That's what lifts me up and helps me have more confidence and whatnot. For you, it might be something different, It's just like getting your hair done, or getting your hair cut or whatever it is, it always, you just feel fresher. It makes you feel better, and it gives you, makes you have a better attitude even, and that just shows. It shows when, when you have confidence and you feel good and you're smiling when you come into a room and you're not a negative Nelly all the time or negative Ned, and that's just, I think that's really important. We're in the business of attracting people to us, wanting people to be drawn to us. And I think when we feel good about ourselves, I mean, it makes a big difference. It shows in our productivity and our business. It shows in the relationship that we have with ourselves, that we have with other people. It's just doing a little, those little things that make a difference. It's important. And like I said, I just think we have a lot of negative self-talk with ourselves, And what good does that do? Like I said, I'm a personal trainer, so I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. I start at 5 a.m. with my clients, and, I was here at the office last night. It was 9:30, and I was just getting my stuff around to go home. And, 9 o'clock is really my bedtime, but I'll tell you, since I started doing this whole thing with Empower Network, sleep, I haven't gotten as much sleep. I've been working, so, and learning. And, so when it's 9:30 and I'm just leaving here, I start feeling stressed out a little bit. It's the anxiety knowing I have to get up super early, and then I start thinking negative things, and I'm like, gosh, it's 9:30, I'm just going home, I still didn't get this and this done for the day. And I had to like slap myself and say, whoa, look at all the stuff that you did get done today. Yeah, I didn't get to listen to one of the modules I wanted to from the Costa Rica intensive. You know what, but I'm going to do that today. But I got X, Y, and Z and done, and I should be, thrilled about that. I overcame an obstacle today, and that's another thing, overcoming obstacles. I mean, when you have a bad attitude and, whatnot, it's easier to get discouraged and to give up and quit, so just something to think about, doing the things that make you feel good, whether it's going on a hike or, just getting some activity. You're going to swim or go for a walk with your friend or, whatever makes you feel good. Just do that and, watch what happens. Your whole life can open up and change with a positive outlook and, you know, a positive self-esteem. It's not easy. It's something that we always have to work on because, you know, that's just how it is. We've been, you know, some things have been ingrained in our brains since we were little kids, but, you know, we can overcome that. You just have to keep working at it and keep working at it. So anyway, just some food for thought. You know, I love sharing this information with you guys. If I can help in any way and point you in the right direction, maybe give you the name of a positive book or, you know, a video or something, let me know. Leave a comment below. Like I said, I'd love to help. And if anybody out there is, you know, watching this and thinks, gosh, you know, I'd love to blog. I'd love to talk about whatever it may be, you know, message me, let me know, let me show you how I'm doing what I'm doing and how it can change your life. And like I said, I enjoy sharing this information with you guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. All right, thanks a lot.